We could all rise here. We have Pastor Thomas here for our invocation.
I invite you to bow your heads for a moment or three. Lord, why do the nations rage? Why do the peoples plot in vain? So useless of the darkened minds of this world, their faithless hearts are filled with anger. Lord, 19 violent attacks on American schools in the first quarter of 2023. Lord, have mercy. Keep us in your word. Well, God, this afternoon I heard that 3 little ones and 3 compassionate staff members of the Covenant School in Nashville are no longer in our company, but they are in your care. The perpetrator of pain is gone, for it is appointed for man or woman to die once and then to face the judgment. So, Lord, you sober us this evening with the 2nd Psalm. Now, therefore, O kings, be wise, be warned, O rulers of the earth, serve the Lord with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Lord, you are the way, the truth, and the life. Give your Holy Spirit to comfort the parents and the families of all departed. Give your Holy Spirit to counsel those bereft of loved ones and all who are wounded by the trauma. Be with those who serve at Covenant Presbyterian, Woodmont Baptist, and Vanderbilt Medical Center. Gather, guard, and guide our Bullitt County churches and the medical care facilities in our region, that we may be ready to extend your healing touch. Lord, to your glory, first responders and law enforcement responded in courage in Nashville today. Keep Chief Schmidt and Chief Troutman and all Shepherdsville's finest in your wisdom, that they may be ready to respond for the defense and recovery of our community in every challenge. I pray for the surviving preschool little ones and elementary students and their caregivers at the Covenant School in Nashville. I pray for our public and Christian schools in Bullitt County and the local area. The war is for the hearts and minds of the next generation. The ruler of this world blames the weapon. We know that weapons are nothing until they are wielded. May your kingdom come to many hearts. Empower your parents, pastors, teachers, coaches, and faith-filled servant leaders, that we may be a people at peace with you and share that peace among all who hear your voice. Fill our hearts. May tonight reflect your good government. Guide our Mayor Jose and our City Council. Guide our public works to work for the good of our city. Give us a vision of the impact of our decisions on those around us. Ease our anxiety. Fill us with faith in you that never fails. Curb lawlessness so that our law enforcement may be active in building community and goodwill. Give your angels to watch over those who stand the watch. Reestablish our defense, guard against disaster, and bring about the beautification of Shepherdsville. Nice flowers, Lord. Into your hands I place this meeting tonight. May it be pleasing in your sight. In the holy name of Jesus I pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor. All right. We're going to start our meeting at 6:33. I'd like to do a roll call first, please.
Ms. Enlow? Here. Ms. Portman? Here. Mr. Drinker?
Here.
Mr. Hibbert?
Here.
Ms. Megan?
All right. What we'd like to do is we'll change it up a little bit. Chief, if you'll bring your new cadets and do what you need to do.
Let's say we bring the families up too.
Absolutely,
You want to?
absolutely.
This is just a happy and good occasion for us in the Shepherdsville Police Department. Welcome 2 of our new officers. These officers have just completed 20 weeks at the Police Academy in Richmond. Where's Kenneth? Come on up here. Come on. And one of the good things about this is that they had the opportunity and chances to go other places, but they decided to come to Shepherdsville Police Department and carry on a family tradition. First one will be Officer Jared Colbank with his fiancee Maddie and his dad Steve Colbank, who's on lay watch here. The other one is The other officer is Jonathan Botner, joined by his wife Jessica, and his daughters Nevaeh and Serenity, and his dad Kenneth Prophet, who just came back as a rehire. He retired here back in August of last year. So we're blessed to have them joining our family and carrying on the tradition, and we'd just like to welcome them to the family here. And if you all want to turn around, you're going to get sworn in and make it all official now.
Lift your right hand. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true as a citizen thereof, and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability the office of police officer for the city of Shepherdsville according to law. And I do further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution, I, being a citizen of the state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state nor out of it, nor have I sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help me God. I further solemnly swear that I will endeavor to the best of my ability to detect and prosecute all gamblers and others violating the laws against gaming. Wonderful.
Hey, congratulations.
Welcome to Shepherdsville.
Congratulations again. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Where's the chief? I have to fix these before I give them to him.
Hey, Chief, we need you back up front here for some signatures whenever you get done. No
Yeah.
rush.
Tomorrow.
No, tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. All right, if we could, let's get approval for the minutes for March 13th.
I'll make a motion.
All right,
Second.
all right.
Who's taking it?
Let's go Jennifer. Go for Jennifer. We'll give the next one to Paula. All right, can we get a roll call, please?
Okay. Ms. Mangus? Mr. Hibbard?
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker?
Yes.
Ms. Enlow?
Yes.
Ms. Mendez?
Yes.
And Ms. Portman?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Presentations, we've got a couple here, but we lost an individual that was very dear to this community. His name is Jim Rice. Was lost a couple of weeks ago. I know that a lot of people that do know him and knew him, he actually contributed quite a bit to the development of this city. A good guy, loved by many, and I just wanted you all to know that the city appreciates what he's done over the years to be an excellent steward and owner of this city. And I think at this point, I have some ideas, but one of the ideas that we're actually tossing around is that we will find, as we develop the park, we're going to name one section of that park for Jim Rice. And so I wanted you all to know that, because I think I see all the heads nodding, so I appreciate that we all know Jim Rice, and God rest his soul. But I think he was a gentleman that would be very proud of how we honor him. So I wanted to let you know that. Also, Lindsay Biggie could not be here tonight. She is actually the president of the Colton's Clubhouse, and that's an organization, a nonprofit that actually works with special needs kids. And we are working with them right now with the community center. We are actually looking at the construction that we have to do to make it ADA, the disability, and being able to get in and out of the facility. So we've got some estimates, but we think it's a great opportunity to work with them. And we do have another organization that we're working with that's working with teenagers to keep them out of trouble. We're going to have kind of a game room there that they can actually utilize the facility as well after school. Instead of getting in trouble, we'll have pool, we'll have ping pong, we'll have some foosball, and maybe some video games that these kids can at least make some new friends and stay out of trouble. And that's the biggest thing we need to be concerned with is our youth, but specifically our teenagers. So it's a great opportunity for us to look at how we contribute that as a government. So we're excited about those type of opportunities as we do at our youth sports programs. So with that said, if we would, Miss Amber, if you would come up, I'd like Amber to come up and talk a little bit about her community planning and what she's been doing. And no pressure, but Amber's done a great job. She's been working with Faith on a number of things, and I'm excited what we're going to be doing. So Amber, would you like to tell us a little bit what's going on?
Yes, thank you. So first up, we had our first farmers market vendor meeting this past Saturday. The room in here was packed. We had probably about 75 people. 40 of them were probably vendors. 23 have signed up already. So that's a good start to the season. The farmers market will start June 3rd and will close on September 23rd. It'll be every Saturday, 9 to 1. This year, I would like to implement a spotlight each Saturday. It's going to invite a business or organization to help build awareness to their organization and help us draw a diverse crowd. Example, one Saturday, the Boy Scouts will be coming. Another Saturday, Bullet Central, their ag department's coming. And then the culinary arts, they're gonna come and do a demonstration for food. So just a couple of those as an example. We got approved for a grant from the Bullitt County Tourism that will go towards the market as well. And then our first annual Blue Mine 5K walk with the mayor. That will be May 20th from 8 to 10. It's going to be $10 to register. Pre-registration will include a t-shirt, and all proceeds will go to the Colton's Clubhouse. Food truck invasion will be coming up May 21st from 12 to 5. We have 21 food trucks coming. 2 of those are local, JMO's and Smoke Over Fire. Along with that, there will be music from the Swerve from 2 to 5. And then we'll have craft vendors as well. A Bullet Blast will be June 30th and July 1st. We're going to be working with the mayor tomorrow for more details on that. And then we are going to partner with Journey Church this fall for a fall festival. It's going to be September 30th from 10 to 3. So I've been helping Casey get food trucks and sponsorships for that as of right now. So.
I appreciate that. I think the biggest thing we want people to know is we're going to have different activities. We're going to have car shows as well
Yep.
on Friday nights.
First Friday of every month.
Absolutely. And what we're going to try to do is make sure that we create an opportunity for you to come downtown, spend some time with us as we're doing our construction. So you
Absolutely.
can kind of see kind of the things we're doing both in the park and downtown and in the aquatic center. So we're pretty excited about all that. But we want to make sure, doing a great job. I think
Thank
you're
you.
working a lot of hours. I like it though. All right, but thank you for all you're doing,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Amber. Really appreciate it. Uh-huh. All right, well, we have Ms. Courtney Burden to update the council on what she's doing on donations and some of the things that she's working on. Ms. Courtney?
So I'd like to share a couple things. First, I want to update on sponsors because that's one of the things we talked about, and that's just a real good feeling. When you see dollars coming in, you start having a little more reassurance about what I'm doing and how this position can really help grow not just the downtown area, but overall our county. We are working on just kind of realizing the potential of the downtown area. So one of the things I'm focusing on is going downtown and saying, okay, how can you be a part of this renovation? We're going to do some things, not just with the facelift and making it aesthetically more pleasing downtown, but functional for foot traffic businesses, family-friendly things. So there's a couple of updates that I'd like to give. Basically, anyone who's interested, anyone who is obviously downtown or has a connection downtown, I'm trying to talk about how we can get those folks involved with our project. A couple of people who are committed to $5,000 sending checks in right now are the Bullitt County Chamber of Commerce. So they agreed to sponsor a $5,000 commitment for, we're talking about lamp posts and benches, but the increment that's important to me is right now just sharing that update of $5,000. Another $5,000 commitment is from Bruce Thomason. So he's right there downtown. He is happy to commit, and he didn't say that's it. He said that's what he's sure of, and then he wants to see what's going on. He wants to see some hubbub. He wants to see some movement, and then maybe he will have another discussion. A couple other partners that are in this $5,000 discussion and that I feel really good about. Polly DeKeith and her family are going to be honored with a light pole in front of the old Keith's Barber Shop. So that's really, that's a discussion. So the first two are signed, sealed, and committed to. The ones I'm talking about next are discussions that I feel really good about. So Paulita, her family has a history in that area, so that's going to be, a great conversation. Another one is First Harrison. Stacy Bernard and Dan Klein are looking over some options, so that's great. They're right there on the corner. They have an opportunity to really, do some good, and it's just a feel-good thing. No matter what happens in these buildings, that's going to be there, and that's just a testament to this movement that we're doing downtown. And Farm Bureau, I'm actually speaking at their board meeting tomorrow night and discussing what commitment, what they're looking to do. So that's exciting. I think there's some real opportunity there because I'm presenting to the board, but I'm also talking to the actual agent that's in that office. So there's actually two opportunities there. And then a really great conversation is with Journey Church. As we all know, they're an amazing community partner. So they're interested in sponsoring something relatively significant, maybe a couple of the volleyball courts, sand volleyball. They're interested in something more than just a light post. So we're continuing to talk to them on how they can sponsor, but also they're offering that when you're coming over the Salt River Bridge, that the blink siding part of the building, that it makes me think, before there used to be painting, and there was a mural on there a million years ago, and we are looking and doing some bidding for getting another fresh, beautiful Welcome to Shepherdsville mural on that wall. So the first guy I met with him yesterday, Mr. Alex McLean, came out. He does a lot with Louisville. He's done a couple big murals in downtown Louisville. So he came out to offer us an option for what to do there. So that is an update. So right now we have $10,000 headed our way. Looks like we have about 30 more in the next 30 days. Everybody has boards, everybody has discussions, but I think most importantly, we're just getting started and the conversations are very positive. It is overwhelming, the energy when you start talking about revitalizing downtown Shepherdsville. It's just been fun to talk about what's going on and what it's going to look like in 6 months and what it's going to look like in 2 years. So I appreciate the opportunity. And the other update that I wanted to give that's not financial in nature yet, but it's going to turn into some nurturing relationships. We're working on creating 2 associations, networks, if you will. The first one is for the downtown businesses. So we want to meet regularly. When I say we, I'm talking about those that are putting the plan together to revitalize downtown, those of us who are trying to figure out where the lampposts go, what do they look like, how to really beautify downtown, the sidewalks, the curbing, all those things. It matters a lot to us, but it sincerely affects the businesses right downtown Shepherdsville. So why wouldn't we get those folks involved in those conversations? So we've created something, the Downtown Shepherdsville Business Network, the Business Association. Our first meeting is April 25th, and it's going to be right here in City Hall. And what we're going to do is just kind of an overview. It's kind of a welcome to the conversation. This is what we know. Here are some things we'd like to do. But it's really an evolution. So we want to bring those people in. And I think that's going to really calm some nerves from some of the folks downtown, but also get more involved and get more folks involved. They might not understand how they can fit in if they're just getting bits and pieces of information, but if they can come sit in this room and hear from Arthur, hear from Scott, hear from the mayor, hear from everybody involved, hear from the beautification committee, I think we can all pitch in and say, this is our big picture plan. Now, how do you plug in? How can you help, or how can we help you? Maybe their business has a specific need that we don't know right now, but we could address it while we're doing this, and now we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So that's the first business opportunity that we can really get a network together and get everybody moving on the same page under the same leadership. The second one is a much bigger task, but I'm up for it, and that is the Cedar Grove Industrial Park. We're going to create a network for that group as well. So we have businesses and corporations represented warehouses. These are landowners. These are people that either own land there and they haven't developed it yet. These are developers that have developed the land, but also business executives that are operating in the park. Let's talk to those people. Let's get involved, have the same conversation. What are you guys up to? What are you looking for? And that's bigger because there are more people involved, but it's just as important because these people are coming into our community, and obviously they affect the way we look at our community. They affect the roads, they affect so many things. So why wouldn't we get everyone into the same room and let's talk about what do they need from us, but also what we need from them. So I'm really excited to start that conversation with these guys. And I want to say, welcome to Shepherdsville. We're so glad you're here. Now, how can you help us? Let's get involved. Let's get going. Let's get into our community. So those are my updates, Mr. Mayor, City Council. Yes?
The meeting on April 25th.
Yes.
What time is it?
6, and I will get every single person's email address and invite you. I started to do that 6 to 7:30 p.m. right in this room.
Before you step down, one of the two things that need to keep in mind, first of all, the downtown area, it wasn't designed for a true downtown area. If you look at the businesses that are down there, there's gonna be some evolution as to why you come downtown. You know, shopping, boutiques, maybe a winery down there, maybe a bourbon tasting that can be down there so that you can enjoy just walking around downtown, going into the park. So not only are we trying to have an association, great idea from Courtney on both of those, but the one downtown is to, first of all, get the folks that are down there united and then try to bring in. We've got some empty spots there. We're looking aesthetically how we're gonna change it. But we want people to feel like if we ask you to be down there, are we gonna bring you potential customers? Yes, we are. So we want that to be the conversation, but there is gonna be some, let's just say facelifting to the downtown area. So that was great. But the other one, the industrial park is two things. The industrial park actually does, first of all, we're getting ready to read code enforcement tonight. That's an integral part of not only in residential areas, but it also includes our industrial park. If you go and drive around,
Yes.
you'll see opportunities in that area as well. So we're gonna be taking care of that, and making sure they understand the standards of the way they should be developing those areas. And some of those areas are not very appealing if you look even through that. So we have standards we're putting in all places, but the other thing is these folks actually, as they become partners, they want to be more involved. We've got
Yes.
two of the big partners back there that want to work with us on our developing our park and our renovations downtown. So not only are we looking to invest money, but we've got developers that are calling us now to talk about the things, whether it's be downtown, to be part of that success, or bringing a business here that's going to bring more services to our customers, right? Our customers are our residents. And so they want to feel like they've got potential customers, but they also have potential employees. So we're talking retail and residential focus, which has been kind of been lacking for a few years. I think most of us can admit that. So great ideas, Ms. Courtney. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, next thing we have is opening bids for the mowing. All right. No? All right. Ms. Catherine's going to take care of that.
Okay, first up is from Hester's Lawn. Okay. I apologize, this will take a few minutes because I am literally just opening them up per the rules, but let's see. This estimate is for a total of, okay, $1,485. And then they broke it down for jobs. So cemetery at Fugate Lane, 65, water plant property at Joby Hall, 200, Joby Hall sides and median, 250, Old Fraud, barn and property, 225, Sparrow Drive, Sunbelt, 45, 6th and 7th, 250, I-65 at 44, 150, City Hall around building, 300.
What was the total?
$1,485.
And it looks like it's, see this here?
That was a little personal.
Yeah. It doesn't specify, but I'm gonna guess that's gotta be that's per month.
Well,
He's just got a certificate there.
That doesn't sound like a per month.
It doesn't say, he doesn't say. I'm sorry?
What does that sound?
It was
per week, per month?
$14.85,
I'm sure that's one mowing.
one mowing, okay. Oh, so it's one
well,
week.
he says on here, we'll cut the grass from first week of April to last week of October will be cut once a week.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right, so that's a 1485 for, Bonnie, it's for a week.
And just so that everyone knows, we will put together a list that makes sense with all of those folks on it, have all the totals for mowing, season, so it'll be something much easier to understand.
Yeah.
And anyone who wants a copy of that,
Okay. All right.
Okay, this next one is from HB Landscaping. Okay, so this bid is for same areas. It's for the 2023 season. It's a total of $23,400, and it comes out to be $900 a week for 26 weeks, approximately.
That's a pretty good job.
Okay, this is from A to Z Lawn and Landscaping. Okay, let's see here. This total, what? Oh, discount. Okay, so they have the subtotal as $1,040. There's a discount of $240 for government entity. So the total is $800.
Per week.
I'm assuming per week. It doesn't quite say. So, did we ask for these to be provided per week? Does anyone know what we asked them to provide?
Yeah.
We did. Okay, so that would be per week then. All right, this next one is from Brian Mitchell Construction. The price for weekly mow and trim is $1,600 per week. Cutting will start and end at city's request. Keep all those envelopes. Okay. You start working on opening
Okay,
that
yes,
up,
ma'am.
and I'll read the next one, because that might take, they tape that up like a Christmas present. All right, this is from Rice Lawn Care LLC. Okay, so it looks like they did the yearly total at $28,140. I do not see that it's
What's the total?
$28,140.
You're looking at 1,081 per week. If I did it by the 26 weeks, 1,081.
You're welcome.
Okay, this next one is from Kyle Skidmore Lawns and More LLC, and the weekly total for this is $1,140. And they do put on the notes what they carry in insurance, but they do not provide that. Well, oops.
You might get a Christmas gift idea.
I don't know, but I tell them to put this in a regular envelope. Okay, so the next one is from H&H Lawn Care and Landscaping. The weekly cost is $670. So the total cost is $21,000. And they say that this is good for 30 days, so there's that one. I apologize, I did rip that, my bad.
They did that on 30 cuts. Just, so you know, I'm not sure, you know, that's the different one that I've seen.
we'll break it down weekly.
Okay, so this one is from Fix Lawn Care LLC. They have the weekly total at $840. This is from Bischoff Lawn Maintenance. Okay, so they've given 3 bids. So it looks like mowing bid number 1, they have per cut being $847. They offer a, okay, so then they offer a mowing bid of $3,300, and they say it's a monthly savings of $88. Then they offer bid number 3, and that is a total amount of $22,500, and so it shows a yearly savings of $2,900 and I think that's $30 or $910. Sorry, and the way I read this is I'm assuming if the city would pay all up front, then that's what the 3 bids are for. All for the same work, just a matter of if the city pays weekly, monthly, or for the year.
Is that it?
That's all the Christmas presents.
All right. All right, so that's what I figured out for that one.
All right. First of all, I'm sure everybody's got your numbers. I like doing homework.
Have anybody wrote them down? All right, any questions? I mean, do you know some of these folks? I mean, obviously, sometimes when we're doing bids, it's not always about the cheapest, but I need to make sure, or the less expensive, that's a bad word. But the less expensive of it, but if you have people that you know, I know a couple of these folks here, that if there's a question about the fact that you've got maybe 2 in interest, we probably need to pick the best and the least expensive. So I'm not sure, any comments, Paula, Mike, Faith, Jennifer?
I mean, I guess we would wanna know if they're doing just mowing and trimming, or if there's landscaping that's included on any of it.
Tom, this is just mowing,
Is it
correct?
just mowing?
Yeah, what this is to be picking up trash off of the city-owned lots,
Okay,
trimming and mowing only.
okay.
Yeah, we had the one that was 30 weeks, Tom. I think most of them we calculated as, I mean, that one didn't calculate, you figured out to 670 or somewhere there.
It's according to where your season falls, both in the spring and in the winter, you know.
When they
Sometimes it's 26, there's a lot of times lately it's 30.
Okay. And what do they do when they have to do done in 26? Do they just follow that rate for the last 4 weeks if they have to do any more cutting?
Yeah.
When they charge us? Okay.
Yep.
All right. I mean, like I said, as far as bidding on this, I mean, obviously, if you guys like to make a motion on any one of these, or you wanna,
Tom's gonna do.
you're gonna do all that?
We'll
Yeah.
itemize every bit of this.
And then are you going to, okay, so my question, then you're gonna give us what,
I'm sorry,
I mean, do we have to approve just the bidding, this part of it? Just that we've done all this?
No, you just.
Just making sure.
but we will be transparent, and everyone will get a copy of every bid if they wish it. Sometimes it becomes a little confusing, but, we'll break that down to however you wanna see it,
Okay.
so you can see every one of them.
Okay. Well, I appreciate, oh, no, you're fine.
Usually do a spreadsheet, don't you?
Yeah,
Yes, I do.
yeah.
Yeah, that'll work out great.
Yeah, the spreadsheet will break it down,
So they did all that scribble for nothing?
that's right.
Thank you, Tom. We'll get that to you, okay?
All right, well, thank you, council. All right, with that said, our next 3 readings, as I mentioned in the last meeting, is extremely important to the community. We have struggled with our standards as far as some of the things we've seen with residential areas, some of our businesses, and as we talked about the industrial park. That's got to change. We know too many places in our community that need serious help, like right away. Well, that's not going to change if we don't put an ordinance that has any kind of legal ramifications. That we want to actually make sure that whatever we put out there is going to be held up by law if they go to court for some reason, because they're going to actually, a lot of these citations are going to be coming. And the important part about this is do they understand why? So I've read through the 42 pages. I tried to read through it again today to make sure that we're detailed on this. We've had this information out for a few weeks to make sure that the council had a chance to read them. It's lengthy, and I don't like reading. So I don't know what it's like for the rest of them, but I know this is important to what we're going to do to the community. So it's important that we have these first readings. We will be voting on April the 10th. On April 11th, we'll be actually out in the field, on the streets, giving citations and explaining to people the recommendations that they'll need to follow. If not, there's a process. We take this process seriously if we condemn a piece of property. This is not to be taken lightly. It'll be done through a review. We're actually going to use our board and make sure that when we look at something like that,
it's taken very seriously when we're talking about your property. It's very detailed, but we probably have 24 properties that we need to address like right away. We know a couple of them right away. But it's important for you all to know the importance of us taking this time to read this information and to make sure if you guys want to see it, you're more than welcome to. Love to give you 42 pages. But anyway, with that said, Ms. Catherine, if you'll read the first one, please. This is 023013, please.
An ordinance relating to the establishment of a property maintenance code in the city of Shepherdsville, Bullock County, Kentucky. Summary. 1. Titled Property Maintenance Code of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, and referred to as this code. 2. Establishes the minimum maintenance requirements and standards for premises, structures, equipment, and facilities with respect to light, ventilation, space, heating, sanitation, protection from the elements, plumbing, electric, life safety, safety from fire and other hazards, drainage, and safe and sanitary maintenance. 3. Applies to all existing residential and non-residential structures and all existing premises. 4. Regulates the use of existing structures and premises. 5. Regulates the closing of vacant structures. 6. Regulates the condemning of unsafe structures and equipment. 7. Regulates the demolition of structures. 8. Fixes responsibility among owners, operators, and occupants. 9. Provides for administration, enforcement, and penalties. And 10. Provides for repeal of inconsistent laws, severability of provisions, and an effective date upon passage and publication.
All right, well, thank you, Ms. Catherine. Thank you. I do want to make sure you know it's very extensive on this. Like I said, and anybody that's interested, I'd be more than glad to get you a copy of that. I really would, because I think it's important that people know the standards that we're expecting from everyone in these neighborhoods. All right. With that said, we're going to do our first reading on our next ordinance. The next ordinance is actually our board. Again, opportunities with both, in both these ordinances is that they weren't properly done, but they weren't specific about the structure, unsafe structures. That's very important terminology when it comes to this, but we wanted to have the board. We did not have a code enforcement board until about a month ago. We haven't had one for years. So it's important that we know now that we have a board. We're working on policies. It's important that we to make sure that we now have the board that can enforce this as well. All right, Ms. Catherine, 023014.
An ordinance amending sections 31.15 to 31.29 of the City of Shepherdsville Code of Ordinances related to the Code Enforcement Board. Summary. Number 1. Sets forth that section 31.21 is amended as follows. To reflect the methods in which a notice of violation shall be issued, to reflect the information that shall be contained in the notice of violation, and to reflect the methods in which a citation shall be issued.
Thank you, Ms. Catherine. And one of the things with the violations themselves that's very important is once you have a violation, it will continue to be a violation each day. So this is going to be accumulative if you're not resolving the issue that you've been cited for. And a lot of the structures right now, our focus is on the properties that need the most attention. This is a long process. It will take years to get a lot of this done, but we know we have targeted spots in our city that need immediate attention, and that's what we're gonna do April 11th. So obviously, that's our first reading. The council has the extended version of all this information. We've been trying to answer some questions. We've had some good questions, some terminology. We put some definitions actually in the policy so that people can actually see what is defined by the code enforcement board and the code enforcement officer or other officers, because this is probably more than just one person that's going to be involved in this kind of upkeep. It's going to take that kind of work. So thank you all, council. I appreciate it. I know we've got a couple more weeks. For any other questions, like I said, we'll be ready to go on April the 10th. So thank you all. Our next resolution is, Ms. Catherine's going to read, is what we mentioned in our last meeting. We mentioned the cost of delay. We had it budgeted 3 years ago to actually do the wastewater treatment plant. And there was a bid of $597, as I mentioned to the council. And as transparent, I wanted to make sure, even though this was budgeted money 3 years ago, we actually had to extend the cost, $42,000. As I mentioned, those are kind of decisions that hurts the taxpayer. But at this point, the courtesy to the group here is to make sure they knew that I need their approval for that additional money to make sure we get that budget off and running, because we can't wait any longer. So with that said, Ms. Catherine.
City of Shepherdsville Resolution 023-007, a resolution approving additional funds for the wastewater treatment plant building expansion project. Whereas in fiscal year 2023, the City Council approved the spending of $600,000 for the wastewater treatment plant building expansion project, known as Project, and whereas the city obtained a scope of work proposal from the Lusk Group dated August 18, 2022, for the project at a cost of $597,840 for the project, and whereas the city has not contracted with the Lusk Group to start construction on the project, and whereas the City Council now desires to contract with the Lusk Group to start construction on the project, and whereas the city received a revised scope of work proposal from the Lusk Group dated February 9th, 2023 for the project with a revised cost of $639,840.57 for the project. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council authorizes and approves the additional funds for the project in the amount of $42,057, and that Mayor Jose Cabero be and hereby is authorized and directed by the City Council to execute in writing a contract with the Lusk Group for the construction of the project at a cost of $639,840.57, and to do all further acts and things to execute all further documents in writing which the authorized signatory determines to be necessary or desirable in order to effect this resolution.
Thank you, Catherine. And again, this was approved a budget item. And again, we're just making sure from transparency for the public as well as this council that we want to make sure all dollars are approved. So with that said, I need a motion to approve.
Motion.
I need a second by Faith. Bonnie's first. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hibbert,
Yes.
Ms. Enlow,
Yes.
Ms. Mangus,
Yes.
Ms. Portman,
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker,
Yes.
Ms. Mendez.
Yes.
I know. All right, well, thank you all. All right, we are actually, we missed one. We're going to do the resolution 023006, resolution.
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor to execute any documents which are deemed necessary by the U.S. Treasury to participate in the American Rescue Plan State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds, known as ARP, SLERF program, authorizing mayor to have full authority on and authorizing the mayor to act as the authorized correspondent for the proposed project. Whereas city desires funding for expenses incurred due to the public health emergency with respect to the coronavirus disease 2019, known as COVID-19, on behalf of the residents of the city, and whereas it is recognized that SLRF funds are available to the city pursuant to the American Rescue Plan and impose certain obligations and responsibilities upon the city that require, among other things, 1, reporting to the U.S. Treasury with annual reports on eligible project spending of the SLRF's funds, and 2, other obligations of the city in connection with receiving the SLRF funds for the purposes stated herein. Whereas the proposed project of repairing air conditioning would be an eligible expense under the following categories listed by the U.S. Treasury for the ARP SLR funds. Program number 1, government services. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky as follows, that the City of Shepherdsville will use $14,847 of the funds provided by the SLFRF allocation to repair the air conditioning units at Fire Station 2.
Say that 7 times.
Yeah, I'm sure you're supposed to call it slurp, but.
No. So Chief, we've talked about that. You want to just give a brief description of what's going on at substation here?
Okay, basically what this is about, when they built Station 2 over on Orion Drive, excuse me, they put too big of air conditioning units in the building. So it creates a condensation problem, which created a mold problem throughout the building. So they're having to come in and put a part on to the air conditioning units to condense them down so they don't produce so much moisture. That's what this is all about. We've already had the building cleaned out of the mold. Now we're just trying to get the problem fixed before it continues on.
I just want to make sure, when there are strict guidelines as far as ARPA money, making sure that you notify Jennifer, making sure she knows obviously what we're doing, but we want to make sure that you all know what the money's being utilized for. We have other things that we're going to be utilizing, some developments and things. There are some flexibilities with that money, but when we need something like this fixed, we're going to take that money and make sure it takes care of that.
So was that just a bad design issue, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so were we able to get them to help remedy that in any way, or?
It's been too long.
Yeah, how long is that station? That station's years. It's just pretty solid. Chief, thank you very much. I just want to make sure everybody knows. Second from Faith. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hibbert?
Yes.
Ms. Enlow?
Yes.
Ms. Mangus? Yes. Ms. Mendez?
Yes.
Ms. Portman? Yes. Mr. Whitaker?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Council. I appreciate that. That it's a little concerning, but I couldn't believe it when I saw it. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. So in the Lakes of Dogwood, we actually have a substation for our wastewater treatment plant in somebody's yard. It's in their yard. You have to actually get permission to come into their yard to go take care of a substation. There's another one in the same area that's actually on the side of the house. They actually had to build a driveway for it. I can't make this up. And this was done a long time ago. But unfortunately, because of that, the city's now in a situation that we have to take care of that. It wasn't taken care of before. We are going to actually invest tax dollars to purchase a house so that we have that property. Those are dead properties that should not have been developed on yet, but somewhere along the line in the city of Shepherdsville, they were built. So unfortunately for us, we're going to have to take a decision. And counsel, for you, I'm just letting you know today, we'll put something in your box over this next week so that you guys can see that. You may have discussed it before, I think. I'm gonna guess, Bonnie, I mean, kinda looking like you got some thoughts there, but I want you to revisit that, because we really need to take a look at that. That is not what should have happened in that development out there. So for the public, we wanna make sure that you're always knowing what we're doing, because some of these things have to be corrected. So please, I'll get some information to you, but I just wanna make sure that you're aware of that. But anyway, with that said, no sign-in speakers? All right, no sign-in speakers. Planning and zoning, I don't have anybody here with. I do have somebody from the Board of Adjustment, Mr. Dwayne.
Thank you, Mayor. Our meeting is, like I say, second Thursday of the month. I just get to tell y'all something. Last week, there was a dog training over on Saltwell Road. We give a conditional use permit to, it wasn't it was a new owner. When the owner leaves, they take the conditional use permit with them.
Okay,
So if they change the name on it, but it's existing in business, it's been there for a few years now.
okay,
We just issued another permit.
okay. All right, well, anything else? Is that, Dwayne, I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dwayne.
All right, thank you. So I don't know, I can always start with Chief Trotman. You wanna, since you're kind of used to talking, you wanna come up here and say some more?
Well, our big news is that we were awarded a grant through the federal government to hire 12 more firefighters. And this grant pays for their salaries for 3 years, 100%. So we're gonna be adding some people onto the department. It gives the city time to grow, so we can grow into it and get the money to help obtain the personnel we're bringing on now. It helped the city out, it helped the county out. We respond on mutual aid to all the departments around us, so it kind of just helps everybody out in the county and the city.
I just want to add to this. I mean, it's a great grant. We were a little concerned about some of the obligations, and with federal government, they always have a bunch of things that you need to do if you get free money. But in this case, we were able to find out that the obligation to keeping them was not in play. And that was the toughest thing for us, because that many may not fit the growth yet of the city. But we are good stewards, we're good partners, that there are other fire departments that could obviously use some very good folks, and we've got a good department. And I'm gonna just say this out loud, you guys have been wonderful on Saturdays. I think they're having more fun than the kids are.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a great time.
Probably so.
They really do a great job. So I want to tell you, thank you for your department being out there. I know the police is getting out there when they can, but those guys are there, they're having fun with the kids, and I appreciate that, Chief.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Tom, why don't you come up here? Give us a little.
I can't top that.
What? You didn't get that kind of money?
Yeah, I can't do nothing with that.
Hey, though, we are hiring 2 full-time people. Yeah, 3. We've been running an ad for 2 weeks. We got 2 applications. So I would encourage anybody who knows someone looking for a job, please apply. We really need the help.
Yeah, Tom and I have talked a lot about the fact that staffing is a critical thing in all markets, even in the city government. It's a challenge. So, but we are trying to clean up a lot of things. Some of it's on us, some of it's on the state. But we are taking that. Tom's been great working with me on things that we want to do. But yes, if you've got somebody who wants to work, summertime is a great time for us. Right now, we could use some extra help. So please, if you know somebody who wants to work, and you won't work him too hard, will you? He said nah, so it's good. Yeah,
Are you
all
gonna
right.
hire any part-time?
No, I appreciate it, Tom. We've got some good things going, and he's been, his group has been real responsive when I've needed something done, so thank you, I appreciate it, buddy. All right, looking forward, yep. Oh, you know what, he's back, oh, I can see him back here. He always just tries to hide. Chief Schmidt, would you get up here?
He's shy.
No, I don't know about that. Hey, congratulations on you guys. That's really cool, really cool.
That's good we have them, and they've decided to come here because, like we're talking about, we've got applications open now, and unfortunately, right now, we've only have 1 application put in. It's open till the end of the month, so if you know anybody, any family members, any other officers, please send them our way. But that's just symptomatic of police departments all in this area. So It's just something we'll work through, and as the mayor likes to say, it's opportunities. We'll have to do a better job of recruiting in the future. Some of what we're doing, along with Chief Troutman, is we've started looking at grants through our agency to see what might be out there that we can supplement or to take over and save the taxpayer some money that we don't have to do as far as training, equipment, stuff like that. And we've got, Darren, I think we've got 2 or 3 that they're looking into now, some of the grants. And part of the school I had to go to last 2 weeks, they gave us some more information on grants available through the state. So we're hoping to get some of that, give us a break on some of the money. Trying to think, there's upcoming, mentioned Colton's Clubhouse. We're gonna be partnering with them and a lady from Louisville, I think it's Feet of Louisville. It's an organization that goes out and helps train public service and first responders about how to deal with autistic children. Tentatively, we're gonna have that scheduled for April the 24th. And we're gonna try to get all the first responders in Bullitt County to try to send some representatives. And then hopefully if it's a success, we bring more people in, including the public, in future training. So along those lines, if there's no questions, that's about it. Oh, if I could say one thing we have been doing, of course, I've been here 3 months, and it seems like this year is the year that we get audited on everything, going back 4 or 5 years. So we did pass one audit that I just found out about when I was in Richmond. A lot of that was over the phone, but we did pass that one. We have a major one that's coming up in July, July 1. We thought and were told that it was for July of next year, and we found out a couple weeks ago it's July of this year. So we've got quite a bit of work, but we've already started on it, dedicated some resources. We'll pass it, hoping to get 100% on it and have that for the city. And a lot of what that does is it cuts down on the insurance rate for the city, so we can save the city some money that way too. So with that.
Yep. Hey, Chief, also too, we're just finishing up. This is last but not least, as far as their job descriptions and pay scales and collective bargaining that all go into play here. So we're finishing that up with their group. I mean, there's been a lot going on the first 3 months with the police department. When you make a change like that, you're changing culture, you're changing what you want to see in your neighborhoods. So I know he's been doing that a lot. And one thing is, depending where he's going to be, I'm excited to have him, but I'm excited him to be out there with the officers in the neighborhoods, showing what that's the standard. So, Chief, I really appreciate all that you're doing. All right, thank you, sir. Ms. Brenda, you have anything you want to add to this words of wisdom?
I do not. Everything is wonderful.
I gave her $1. Was that too much? Or can I have some change?
I'll give you change.
All right. And I don't think we have Tanya here, so obviously. And then I know Arthur and Scott are not here. We've been working. Oh, Arthur. Just kidding. That was I had to do it because I said, Arthur, come to the meeting. Okay, because I need you to tell me. Arthur, will you come up here, please? That was funny. I don't care who you were. Uh-huh.
How can I be of service?
Well, no, obviously, there's a lot going on as far as, we talk about Tom in Public Works, and we talk about, Scott's involved in a lot of the things that Arthur's involved with QK4, start looking at designs. We're looking at the aquatic center, sports complex. I'm not sure what the name is, but it's gonna be a Olympic size indoor pool. And so we're looking at what goes around with that when it comes to that center. We're looking at streetscapes. We've been trying to show some people that. We're gonna try to put some information out so you guys can see more. I think next meeting we'll have some more diagrams so you can kind of see some of the evolution of downtown. It's extensive, and I think Courtney said something like 6 months, but we just found out some information. It may be a little longer because of what's going on. And the biggest thing we want to make sure that people understand is there are some things that will take a little longer, but we're getting started. We're going to put electricity downtown. We are going to look at how we can start looking at schematics and planting trees and flower pots and all that fun stuff.
Absolutely.
But I got to tell you, you're going to be the lady watering them. You don't know that yet.
Okay,
You got this. But anyway, but I do want to. I think it goes unnoticed. Is that when we have a lot of these meetings with these folks, Arthur's the guy that we want out front talking to him because I mean I can tell you, good information he gets to these folks, and I always tease him a whole lot, but he knows I love him, and he does a great job with that. And I just want to recognize that we have a good group of people working together. This council and our city hall is really working to make what's happening now. So Arthur, you get to be included in that. I want to make sure you know that. All right. Hey, but do appreciate everything. I know when QK4 gets back that we're going to be start doing some grinding, because we know the money's coming, that we're gonna get started on stuff. So, thank you, Arthur. Do you have any words of wisdom? You wanna add anything? Oh, I mentioned about the substation, that was crazy.
Yeah, the pump station issue was generated during that development. We do look forward to remedying that situation.
Yep. Right.
We got about 84 projects on the docket right now, and I won't bore you with all of them. If you have any specific questions, by all means, my door's open, my cell phone's on. Anytime you guys want to talk about anything specific, let me or Scott know, and we'd be happy to divulge any and everything that we've got going or have started already. And then everybody's input is valid right now, because we've got so many things that are going and happening, so many projects that are in the works. There's a lot of opportunity for everybody to be pulling for the city right now. There's so many things that we've got going. Everybody can find a spot to contribute. Courtney talked about that, about how everybody's jumping in and wants to be involved. That is a culture swell right now that we have not seen in decades in Shepherdsville. So not only is it happening here, but it's happening throughout entire Bullitt County. And that's a good thing. What's good for Bullitt County is good for Shepherdsville. What's good for Shepherdsville is good for Bullitt County. And frankly, what's good for Bullitt County is good for Kentucky. So right now, as we see our future starting to take off and really get wind under our sails, this is just the beginning of the things that we're going to be seeing over these next 5 to 6 years.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much, Arthur.
I have a question.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Arthur, come back. Ms. Bonnie has a question.
I had a question.
Yep.
Where are we at putting in more clarifiers?
So as soon as we are able to go ahead and get this 30 million allocated for all the streetscape improvements, the aquatic center and the park master plan, that's going to be our next big projects to bite into. So we've got all the design ready and complete for that, and we're waiting, because we were right below the cutoff when it came to the KIE funding this year. That's 2% loan money for 20 years. That's unbeatable. So we could go into the bond market and try to finance a $20 million project at the wastewater treatment plant, but it behooves us as a city to wait another 9 months, see if we can get into the KIA funds in October. And if we're awarded that money, that's loan at 2% rather than 4%. That's just money in the customer's pockets when it comes to Shepherdsville. So we're okay to wait sometimes, as long as there's a good payout for it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I don't want to jinx this, but KIPTA, and we've been working a lot, partnering in different things. We feel like we're getting a lot of recognition for our development, that people are looking at us and the developments we want, like Blue Lake.
Right. Well, it paid off. From KIPTA, we were awarded $685,000 toward the wastewater treatment plant improvement. So that grant money that's coming to us as a city, that's real dollars. $685,000, that's real money. And that's something our customers are not going to have to pay. So good things are happening, and we're all a part of it.
So when you guys bring money, we're happy.
Absolutely.
That's how this works. Thank you, Arthur.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry, so I want to let all the council members know, and I want to do it at a public meeting, that after we changed the pay scale ordinance and we changed some of the titles and all of that, that we need to go back into our code of ordinances, section 32, where we talk about the different officers and offices. And we're going to need to update or amend those, because some of the titles are not the same. That lists job descriptions that I don't think are relevant anymore. So I'm giving you all a heads up. We also, I'll be sending all an email, because I think there's one job that we probably don't have. And you all listed these all as offices, like officers, like they all are gonna take the oath. So if we don't want some of them to take the oath, like we've got our sewer plant superintendent taking the oath. So if we don't, we need to amend that. So I want to let you all know that that's going to be coming, just so we can be consistent, so there's no conflict. And then the other thing I just wanted to say real quick about the property maintenance code that was read tonight, or the summary. Before citations and fines get issued, if anyone is in violation, they will get a notice. And during that notice period, and they'll get a period of time to come into compliance. And during that period of time, there will not be any fines issued. It's only if they don't come into compliance after this period of time of notice that they will get a citation issued. So I wanted to let everyone, I wanted to make sure that was very clear on the record that it's not like in a month, people are gonna start getting fined $250, $500, whatever. They will all be given a period of time to know what the violation is and what they need to do to come into compliance, because some of this is new, and some people that maybe technically are not out of compliance with current laws might be out of compliance. So just wanted to make that clear. That's it, thank you.
Okay, no, and that's important, but the thing is, it is very detailed. When you see it, it is very detailed, but the thing that most people are concerned with is the areas that we've been mostly concerned in our community. That information gets to them, so I appreciate that. And again, one of the things that we'll see, as any ordinance we put together, there's a moving target. There's a way that we're gonna have most things covered, but as things get changed at the federal level, at the state level, and even as we see things in our city, we'll adapt to that. It's just important the council has as much information to make the best decision at this time, because we know this is a big concern in the neighborhoods. We've heard from many people about what they're concerned about, and I can tell you, they're very unhappy with some of the things that have been developing over the last 15, 20 years. So with that said, thank you, Ms. Catherine. All right, council comments? Let's start with Ms. Paula. What do you got?
Well, we had our first beautification meeting last Wednesday. Can't hear me. We had our first beautification meeting last Wednesday, and it went real well, had a good outcome. And I'd like to thank Mike and Karen Hibbard, because they helped clean the windows on Thursday on Buckman. Christmas is gone now, finally. So it was a lot of work, but couldn't have done it without Mike, because he had to get up on a ladder sometimes, so I appreciate that. And then I also want to thank Tom, because I've had some questions about beautification items that we have, and he's so gracious to answer my questions, and he's going to help me and show me some stuff tomorrow. And then also on Friday, I got word, I applied for a grant for the beautification, and I got word that we got it. So that's really good. I'm really excited about that. It's $2,000, and it will be used for the Christmas on Buckman, so it's exciting. So that's all I have. So you all have, thanks for coming.
So Paula, you did it right. You can talk if you give us money.
Yes, that's right.
I really don't have anything tonight, Mayor.
Yes, I want to thank Catherine for all her hard work on that ordinance, because I read it twice. All I could say, people, it's long. In detail, very detailed. I would like to get with you tomorrow, Mayor. I had somebody call me today about a problem in our neighborhood, so I don't want to bring it out in the open.
No,
I'd rather.
we'll get it taken care of.
And I want to thank the council for all their hard work on that ordinance also, because it was a lot and a lot of questions, and we all kind of tag teamed together. So thank you all for that. And I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. And a big thank you to all the employees, 100% all the time. Thank you.
Miss Jennifer?
Well, first, I would like to thank you for all your hard work on everything you're doing right now, so thank you. Yes, Amber. Sorry. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm super excited about the food truck invasion. I'm sharing that everywhere, so everybody is finding out. Yes, that is, yes. And also, I still have questions about the ordinance that I'll get with you on, so thank you all for coming.
I just want to let all the people know that have been waiting for us to get around to getting this ordinance done, that we are getting there, and they haven't believed. I had a discussion with one citizen in the middle of Walmart about it, and assured her that we are definitely going to do something, and I understand why she's doubting, but it took a different administration to get something done that should have been done 6 years ago on a lot of things. So I just appreciate that we're finally getting something done.
Well, I thank you all for your comments. Like I said, we'll actually have out there about the substation next week, and then or 2 weeks from now, and then we'll obviously have our second reading on this. Again, please ask as many questions. As Catherine said, it is very detailed, and it's like you almost want to go home and check everything, make sure it's just right. But I think for us, a lot of things are the practical things that we want to address with first. And again, we have quite a bit of work there. But I thank you all for being here. Please mark down May 22nd. We definitely want to make sure that there's an opportunity for you guys to celebrate the good things that we're doing. And we'll keep you posted. Stephen? Yes, sir. What's that? Oh, so Miss Dolores, our water girl, you're the official water lady. You're gonna be watering the plants downtown. You're gonna be watering the plants downtown. Tom's got you on the working this. Yeah, thank you for that, doing that. You're very sweet.
Thank
You
you,
do a lot of good things
Dolores.
like that, so,
Thank you.
yeah. So, but Stephen, that's where they came from. And she's always doing nice things like that, so. Yeah, yeah, well, we appreciate it. Hey, thank you all. There's so many good things going to happen, and we're just excited to get it started, and a lot more to come. A lot more good stuff. Thank you all this evening, and I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
So, Mike?
Second.
All right. Roll call, please. Thanks, Mike.
Jennifer made the,
Yeah, and you got the second. Of course you did.
yes.
Yes.
Yes.